Now, let's start with phanerogams. Till now, what we have studied? Cryptogams. Cryptogams, what are they? They do not bear seeds, fruits, flowers, right? But in case of phanerogams, what are they? They are all flowering plants. They bear seeds. Means what is the main property of phanerogams? They are having the capability to produce seeds. Okay. Now, if we look at them, we will come to know that their body is well differentiated into stems, leaves, and roots. Okay. Let's start with its characteristic one by one. Okay. So phanerogams are what? They are having well differentiated body. Well differentiated body means their body is divided into root, shoots, and leaves. Okay. Now they are autotrophic. They are photoautotropic. What does it mean? It means they are having the capability to manufacture their own food by the process of photosynthesis. Okay. So two things we have seen. First, their body is well differentiated into roots, stems, and leaves. Secondly, they are photoautotrophic. That means they are having the capability to manufacture their own food. Third, what they are doing? They are multicellular. Multicellular means they are having more than one cell. Eukaryotic. Eukaryotic means what? Yeah, they are having cell wall. No. What? Yeah, they are having cell wall. That is okay. What is that? They are having nucleus which is membrane bound along with other organelles. Okay, that organelles are also membrane bound, and they are also having chlorophyll in them. Chlorophyll in them means it is a pigment which helps plant to manufacture their own food. That's why we are saying that they are autotrophic in nature. Okay, rather than that, they are having vascular system. Okay, they are having xylem and phloem which helps them to transfer water and minerals throughout the plant. Got it? Now, they are mostly highly terrestrial plants, sorry. Okay, they are terrestrial plants which we can found in desert, mountains, cold regions, rainforest. Okay, now these plants are having reproductive organs, and their reproductive organs are visible. Okay, means either they have seeds for reproduction or they have flowers for reproduction. Means whatever it is, whether it is seed or flower, these are visible. So we can say that reproductive organs are present in them. Okay, and these reproductive organs are visible. So what does phanerogram says? That phanerograms are what? They are having well differentiated body. They are well differentiated plant which are having root, stems, that is shoots, and leaves. Okay, they are multicellular, eukaryotic, and chlorophyll containing plants which are having the property of autotrophic. That means they are showing autotrophic type of mode of nutrition. They are having the capability to manufacture their own food. They are flowering plants, and they are having vascular system. That means xylem and phloem are present, and they can available in phanerogams are available in deserts, mountains, rainforest, everywhere. Okay. Now, if we see its different classification, we will come to know that phanerogams are classified into two groups. Okay, it is gymnosperms and angiosperms. Okay, phanerogams are classified into two types, that is gymnosperms and angiosperms. Okay, let's discuss one by one. Now, let's start with gymnosperms. What are gymnosperms? Gymnosperms are what? Gymnosperms are the group of plants that produce seeds, but seeds are not covered. Got it? Means actually what happens in gymnosperm ovary, or we can say fruit, it is absent. Okay, in gymnosperm ovary, or we can say fruit, is absent. Because of that, the seeds which is produced by gymnospermic plant, the plant which is producing seeds, it is not covered, it is naked. Okay, why it is naked? Because they are not having ovary, or we can say they are not having fruits in them. Okay, and because they are having naked seeds, because their seeds are not covered, they are not producing flowers. So that's why we can say gymnosperms are non-flowering plants. Okay, got it? So two things we come to know, that they are having seed, but their seeds are naked, means it is not covered inside a fruit. Okay, and ovary is absent. Got it? And secondly, what we have seen, that they are not producing flowers because seeds are not enclosed, right? That's why they are not producing flowers. They are non-flowering plants. Got it? So by this we can come to know about its two characteristics. Now if we will see, there are variety of plants which are coming under gymnosperms. Okay, these can be herbs, shrubs, trees. Okay, and already we have seen in phanerogams that their body is differentiated into shoots, roots, stems. Okay, so that means they are having visible stem, right? Right now they are having visible stem, means whatever stem is there, that we can able to see it, we can able to look at those stem. Okay, and their stem is erect, solid and cylindrical. Okay, so whatever trees we are mostly seeing, they are mainly gymnosperm, which do not produce flowers but they produce seeds, and that seed have the capability to reproduce and can produce new plants. Okay, so here what are the reproductive part of the plant? It is seeds. So although they are not producing flower, but seed is having the property to produce new plant. Got it? So what I have told, that in them, in gymnosperm, their body is differentiated because of their stems are visible. Till now in the thallophyta, pteridophyta, bryophyta, what we have seen, their body is not differentiated. We cannot identify which one is root, which one is a stem, which one is leaf, right now. But here we can easily differentiate them. We can easily identify them, which part is root, which part is a stem and which part is leaf, right? And that stem is very erect and cylindrical, and we can say that their stem is erect. We can able to see them, correct? And they are producing seeds, but although these seeds are not producing flowers, but those seeds have the capability to produce new plants. Got it? Now these gymnosperms are mostly found in colder region. Colder region means where snowfall occurs. Okay, in colder region, these plants are available. Gymnosperms are available, for example pine tree, Christmas tree, right? So these are available mostly in cold region. And you must know that in colder region, whatever plants are available, they are having needle like leaves, right? So it is the property of gymnosperm that they develop needle like leaves. Why they are having needle like leaves? Do you know that? They are having needle like leaves so that whatever snowfall falls on the leaves, it can fall in down and stays on leaves, and leaf can stay for a longer period of time. Got it? And because of that, they are having needle like leaves. Got it? As already said, they are having vascular tissue. That means xylem and phloem is present for the transportation of water and nutrients. Clear? And they are having reproductive structure which are in the form of cones. Got it? Clear? So what we have studied in gymnosperms, what are the important characteristics of gymnosperm? First, they are producing seeds. Got it? But their seeds are naked. That means their seeds are not covered in fruit. Their seeds are not covered in ovary. Got it? And because of this, what we are saying, they are not able to produce flowers, and that's why they are non-flowering plant. Got it? Where we are getting gymnosperms? Mostly we are getting gymnosperm in colder regions. And what they are having, what is the characteristic of colder region plants? They are having needle like leaves. Got it? And in gymnosperms, it is a property of actually phanerogams only that they are having vascular tissues. Okay, that means xylem and phloem is present in them. Okay, for what? For the transportation of water, for the transportation of nutrients. Got it? Clear till here? Now just look at the pictures of gymnosperm. Just these are the examples. Cycas, Pinus. If you will see these structures, you will be able to understand the structure. This is the picture of cycas. This is the structure of Piscia. Piscia means it's a Christmas tree. Okay, you all have seen this. Pinus also you have seen. Cones also you have seen. So these are the examples which you can able to see around us. Got it till here? Now let's start with angiosperm. Till here I think you have cleared. Okay. Now let's start with angiosperms. So as there I have said, in gymnosperm their seeds are there. Seeds they are producing, but it is not covered. Now what happens in angiosperm? Their seeds are covered. Okay, and because their seeds are covered, they are having the capability to produce flowers. So angiosperms are flowering plants. In them flower is present, and flowers, then after that fruits can produce. Okay, so what we will say in angiosperm, what is the reproductive organ? Yeah, the reproductive organ will be flower. So what we will say, they are having what they are producing, angiosperms are producing seeds, and these seeds are covered. Okay, and they are having the capability to produce flower, and these flowers are working as an or act as an reproductive organ. Got it? So by this we come to know that any plant which produces flower, correct, any plant which produces flower, okay, they are in them what, flower is the, yeah, flower is the reproductive organ. Got it? Now what happens that if flower is present, definitely pollination will occur. That means in them flower is the reproductive organ, but how reproduction occurs? In them reproduction occurs by pollination. I think you have studied pollination. What is pollination? The transfer of pollen grains. Pollen grains which is present on the, it is this sticky powdery substance which is present on the flowers, right? So what happens with that, whenever bees or birds sitting on them, so they are transferring these pollen grains to the other plant or to the flower of the same plant. Okay, so on the basis of that they are known as cross pollination, or the type of process is known as cross pollination, if the pollen grains are transferred to the another plant. Got it? If the pollen, whatever, see, listen carefully, see what happens, in flowers there are pollen grains are present. Okay, it's a, what are pollen grains? It's a powdery sticky substance which are present on the flower. Whenever birds or bees or any insect sits on it to collect nectar, at that time these pollen grains sticks on their beaks, on their antenna. Okay, and that time whenever that bird is sitting on the another flower for collecting nectar, or when the insect is getting to the another flower for their, for collecting nectar, at that time what happens, that is that pollen grains gets transferred to another flower. Okay, okay, now this flower can be of the other plant, or other plant of same species, or in the same plant but different flower. Okay, if the pollen grains are transferred to the another plant, it is known as, this process is known as cross pollination. And if the pollen grains are transferred to the same plant but different flower, then it is known as self pollination. Okay, so it's not required to go in detail, to go into so deep, but you should know what is pollination. And in them, in angiosperm, because flower is the reproductive organ, in them the reproduction occurs by pollination. Okay, so what we have understood by this, that angiosperms are having the capability to produce seeds. In both of them seeds are produced, but here seeds are covered and they are having the capability to produce flowers. Okay, that's why they are known as flowering plants, right? Okay, and what we have seen, yeah, reproduction in them is taking place by pollination. Okay, clear? Now this angiosperm is again divided into two types. One is monocotyledons and another one is dicotyledons. Now what I said, that they are producing seed, okay, and their seed is covered. Now if the seed is having only single cotyledon, if the seed is having only single cotyledon, we are saying it is monocotyledon. Mono means one. If their seed is having only single cotyledon, we will say they are monocotyledon. And if the seeds are having two cotyledon means we can divide it into two equal halves. Okay, then whenever we are breaking it, it can divide it into two equal halves. That is dicotyledon. Okay, di means two. Clear? Angiosperms are divided into two types, monocotyledon and dicotyledons. Monocotyledon means their seeds are having only single cotyledon, only one cotyledon. That means if we will break it, it will not divide into two equal parts. Got it? But in dicotyledon, what's there? If we break it, then it will divide into two equal halves. Okay. Now, in monocotyledons, they are having parallel venation. I think you know about venation. Venation means in the structure of leaves, you must have studied that veins are present, right? In veins are present, and that veins are of two types, parallel venation and reticulate venation. Okay, so in them, in monocotyledons, parallel venation is present. For example, if you are not having this seed with you, Okay, but you will be provided with leaf. By looking at their venation, you can able to understand that ki yeah, this is the leaf of monocotyledon plant, because if it is having parallel venation. In the next slide I will show you what how it looks, how the parallel venation and this reticulate venation leaves we are able to understand. Okay, so if parallel venation is there, it means that leaf is from the monocotyledon plant, and if it is reticulate venation, reticulate means network type venation. Okay, if it is like that, then it is dicotyledon plants. Okay, thirdly, in monocotyledons, fibrous root is present. Fibrous roots are what? From the main root, many roots are arising. Okay, so that is fibrous root. And in dicotyledons, tap root is present. That means from the main, I will show you, from the main root only main part is, that is tap root. Okay, now in them, in monocotyledons, floral means flower, which is produced, it is having only 3 rolls. It is having only 3 holes, means that's why it is known as trimerous. Got it? And in dicotyledons, either 4 or 5 holes will be present in a flower. That's why it is known as tetramerous or pentamerous. Tetra means 4, penta means 5. So if the flower is having 4 holes, so it is known as tetramerous, and if it is having 5 holes, so it is known as pentamerous. Okay, so what you have understood? Angiosperms, they are producing seeds, and that seed is covered. Then they are producing flowers, that's why flowers and fruits, that's why they are known as flowering plant. Okay, their reproductive organ is their reproductive organ is flower, and the reproduction takes place by the process of pollination. Okay, clear? Now this angiosperm is divided into 2 types: monocotyledons, dicotyledons. Monocotyledons means only single cotyledon is present. That means if we divide it, it will not divide it into it will not divide it into equal parts. Okay, dicotyledon means it is having 2 cotyledons which we break, then it will divide into 2 equal parts. Got it? To identify monocotyledons and dicotyledons, we have to understand that in monocotyledons leaves are having parallel venation. In dicotyledons, leaves are having reticulate venation. Okay, in monocotyledons, fibrous roots are present, whereas in dicotyledons, tap root is present. Okay, in monocotyledons, whatever flower will produce, whatever floral hole is there, it is having 3 parts. Okay, that's why it is known as trimerous. But dicotyledons are having 4 or 5 parts. That's why they are known as tetramerous and pentamerous. Got it? Now, just look at these figures. Just look at these pictures. You will be able to understand parallel venation and reticulate venation. Okay, now here you see in monocots parallel venations are there. Okay, means parallelly, whatever veins are there, that is present parallelly. In the center what you are seeing, that is midrib. Okay, and in the side whatever veins you are able to see, these are all venation. Okay, so these are having, in monocots parallel venation is present, and in dicots, see, a network like structure is present, so they are dicots. Clear? So by that, what I have said that if you are not provided with seeds, because just now we have seen that if seed is divided into 2 equal parts, they are dicot, and if they are not dividing into 2 equal parts, they are monocot. But if the seeds are not available to you, how can you able to understand which plant is of monocot, which plant is monocotyledons, and which plant is of dicot? How you will understand? By looking at their leaves. Got it? So monocots are having parallel venation, whereas in dicots network like venation are there, that is known as dicot venation. Reticulate venation. Got it? Now secondly, what I have said, that fibrous root and tap root, right? So in monocotyledons, what is present? Yes, in monocotyledons, fibrous root is present. Okay, see, from the main root so many branches arises. Clear? But in taproot is present in what? Taproot is present in dicotyledon. You just look at the picture, you will be able to understand by looking at that. Okay. Now next, what I have said, then in monocotyledons, flower is having 3 parts. See, in monocots 3 parts are there. So that's why it is known as tetramerous. In dicots, either 4 parts will be there or 5 parts will be there. So by looking at their flower also, we can be able to understand which one is monocot, which one is dicot. Got it? In monocots, only 3 parts will be there in a flower. Okay, and that is known as tetramerous. Tetra means 3. So it is tetramerous. In Dicots, 4 or 5 parts will be there. So it is known as, yeah, tetramerous or pentamerous. Got it? So just look at, it is clear, I think. Now just look at this figure. Look at this picture of monocot and dicot. You will be able to understand which, how it looks. Got it? In dicots, if we will divide, it is divided into 2 equal parts. In monocots, it is not divided into 2 equal parts. Clear? Now, here I have given some examples of monocot seeds and dicot seeds. Barley seeds are, first one is the barley seed, second one is the wheat seeds, third one is maize, right? These are all monocot seeds. There are various other examples also of monocotyledon seeds like rice, banana, garlic. These are all coming under monocot seeds. Okay. Now come to the dicot seeds. Mango seeds. First one is the mango seeds. Second one is the chickpeas. Okay. Third one is the lychee seeds. Right. So these are all coming under dicot seeds. Rather than that, there are various other examples like papaya seeds, tamarind seeds, bitter gourd seeds. Right. These are all coming under dicot seeds. Okay. So by this we will be able to understand what are monocot and dicots. Okay. So just take a quick review on phanerogams, what we have studied. Phanerogams are what? Phanerogams are seed. Phanerogams are their body is differentiated into stem, leaves and roots, right? Secondly, they are having capability to produce seeds and flowers. Okay. If seed is present, it will be either naked or it will be covered. Clear? Okay, now these phanerogams are divided into 2 types. Okay, what are they? Gymnosperms and angiosperms. Gymnosperms are what? They are having seeds, but it is naked. Why it is naked? Because they are not having fruit, they are not having ovary. Got it? Because of that, they are not having proper capability to produce flowers, and that's why they are also known as non-flowering plant. Got it? In them, vascular tissue is present. That means xylem and phloem is present for transportation of water and minerals. Okay, these gymnosperms, where we are getting it? We are getting it in colder regions. Got it? For example, pinus, cycas, Christmas tree, that is Pichia. Okay, these are all coming under what? Gymnosperm. Now come to the angiosperms. What are angiosperms? They are producing seeds and they are having the capability to produce flowers also. Why? Because their seeds are covered. Got it? They are producing, that's why they are producing flowers and fruits, and that's why they are also known as flowering plants. Clear? Okay. Now, these plants, these angiosperms are again divided into 2 types, monocots and dicots. How you will differentiate between monocots and dicots? In monocots, yeah, single cotyledon is present which cannot be divided into 2 equal parts, and in dicots, double cotyledon, that is 2 cotyledons are present which can be divided into 2 equal parts. Second, yeah, what is that? Monocots are having parallel venation, parallel leaf venation, whereas in dicots it is reticulate venation. Okay. Third, what we have seen in monocots and dicots, yeah, if flower is present, what is happening? What is there? They are having 3 parts. That is known as tetramerous. And in dicots, they are having 4 or 5 parts. If it is 4 parts, it is known as tetramerous. And if it is having 5 parts, it is known as, flower is having 5 parts, it is known as pentamerous. If we will see its root, yeah, in monocots, fibrous root is present. In dicot, tap root is present. Okay. So these are few examples of monocots and dicot seeds. Till here it is clear. Now, see, we have completed with the classification of plants. Just take a quick review and just revise it. Here it's a summary. Plant is classified into 2 types, right? What are they? Cryptogams and phanerogams. Cryptogams means they are not producing flowers, and phanerogams means they are having the capability of producing flowers. Cryptogams, their body is not differentiated into root, stems, leaves, and phanerogams have differentiated root, stem and leaves. Now, these cryptogams are again divided into 3 divisions: Thallophyta, Bryophyta and Pteridophyta. Got it? And this what? Phanerogams are divided into 2 types. What are they? Gymnosperms and angiosperms. Okay, on the basis of seed, whether it is having one single cotyledon or double cotyledon, it is again divided. These angiosperms are again divided into 2 types, monocotyledons and dicotyledons. Clear till here? Okay, so that's all about this chapter of classification of plants. We have completed with this chapter here. Okay, I hope you have understood. Thank you.